Section 2. Pell, Blue Dock, 1200 hours. Mazian. Mazian himself, and not Union. Not another convoy. The whole fleet was coming in. Word ran through the station corridors with the speed of every uncontrolled channel, through the station offices and the smallest gatherings on the docks, through Q as well, for there were leaks at the barriers, and screens showed the situation there. Emotion ran from outright panic while there had been the possibility of Union ships, to panic of a different flavor when they knew it for what it was. Damon studied the monitors and intermittently paced the floors of Dock Command Blue. Aline was there, seated at the comm console, holding the plug to her ear and frowning in concentrated dispute with someone. Merchanters were in a state of panic. The militarized ones were an impulse away from bolting entirely, in dread of being swept up by the fleet. Crews and ships as well impressed to service. Others dreaded confiscation of supplies, of arms, of equipment and personnel. Such fears and complaints were his concern. He talked to some of them when he could offer any assurance. Legal affairs was supposed to prevent such confiscations by injunction, by writs and decrees. Decrees against Mazian. Merchanters knew what that was worth. He paced and fretted, finally went to comm and took another channel, contacting security. Dean. He hailed the man in charge. Call me alter day shift. If we can't pull them off queue, we still can't leave those freighter docks open to easy intrusion. Put some live bodies in the way. Uniform some of the supervisory staff if you haven't enough. General call-up. Get those docks secure, and make sure you keep the downers out of there.
Your office authorizes it?
It authorizes it. There was hesitation on the other end. There were supposed to be papers, counter-signatures from the main office. Station Master could do it. Station Master's office had its hands full trying to make sense out of this situation. His father was on comm trying to stall off the fleet with argument.
Get me a signed paper when you can,
Dean Gibbon said.
I'll get them there.
Damon breathed a soft hiss, shut down the contact, paced more, paused again behind Aline's chair, leaning on the back of it. She leaned back in a moment's lull, half turned to touch his hand. Her face had been white when he had come into the room. She had recovered her color and her composure. Tex kept busy, dispensing the finer details of orders to the dock crews below. Preparations for Station Central to start shifting freighters out of berth to accommodate the fleet. Chaos. There were not only freighters in dock. There were 100 merchanters assigned permanent orbit within the station about down below. There was 100 merchanters assigned permanent orbit with the station about down below. A drifting cloud of freighters for which there had been no room. 9 ships of vast size were moving in on that, sending ships off dock out into it. Mazian's comm was firing a steady catechism of questions and authorizations at Pell, as yet refusing to specify what he wanted or where he meant to dock, if he meant to dock at all. Us next. The nightmare was with them. Evacuation. Pregnancy was no state in which to contemplate a refugee journey to God knew where. Through jump, to some long-abandoned Hinderstar station, to Sol, to Earth. He thought of Hansford, thought of Aline, in that. Of what had been civilized men when they started.
Maybe we won,
a tech said. He blinked, realized that too for a possibility, but not possible. They had always known at heart that it was impossible, that Union had grown too big, that the fleet could give them years, as it had until now. But not victory. Never that. The carriers would not have come in this number, not for any other reason than retreat. He reckoned their chances if Pell refused evacuation, reckoned what awaited any Constantine and Union hands. The military would never let him stay behind. He set his hand on Aline's shoulder, his heart beating, fit to break, realizing the possibility of being separated, losing her and the baby. He would be put aboard under arrest if there was an evacuation, the same way as it had happened on other stations, to get vital personnel out of Union hands, people put on whatever ship they could reach. His father, his mother. Pell was their lives, was life itself to his mother, and Emilio and Milico. He felt sick inside, stationer, out of generations of stationers, who had never asked for war. For Aline, for Pell, for all the dreams they had had, he would have fought. But he did not know where to begin.